From Marvin Slomsky Memorial Field in Glassboro, New Jersey, Comcast Sports presents high school football. This afternoon, it's the Group 1 South Jersey Championship game as Pensgrove visits Glassboro. Hello again, everyone. Rob Christ along with my partner Mike Shute. A cold, crisp, sunny afternoon here at Glassboro. A great game on hand for today. Of course, Glassboro hosting Pensgrove. A couple of teams looking for firsts. Pensgrove has never won a South Jersey Group 1 football championship, and Glassboro looking for the first time to win back-to-back seasons and go undefeated in there. And Mike, this is an opportunity for these two teams to kind of show off why they are the kings of Group 1.
Absolutely, Glassboro. They've got so many weapons, so athletic. You look at Pensgrove, the other side of the ball, another team with great athletes all over the field. Two teams we saw before here on Comcast, two teams that are very familiar with each other, opponents in the Tri-County Classic division. So one thing's for sure, the Tri-County Classic is going to have a champion today.
For Pensgrove, Aaron Hayward is certainly the go-to guy. He's on his way to Rutgers University. We had an opportunity to see him a couple weeks against Woodbury where he really took the team on his shoulders. He's going to need to do that again today.
Yeah, 23 carries, 230 yards in that game. They're going to need him today. And the thing about today, Rob, he didn't play the last time these two teams faced. These two teams played one another on October 24th, another game you saw on Comcast. And Hayward was not in the lineup that game, out with an injury. So, we'll see what kind of adjustments that means that Glassboro's defense has to make. We'll also see what kind of addition and what kind of positives it brings to the Pensgrove offense. You lose a guy like Hayward, a guy who's got almost 1,200 career rushing yards, it's going to make a difference. You add him today, it's going to certainly boost that offense and give them an extra weapon to go to in a game that really, they were close. It was 7-6 at halftime in that game on October 24th, Rob, and then big plays changed that tide.
For Glassboro, Tim Breaker is the quarterback. He's also a star on defense. Again, we had an opportunity to see him in the semifinals against Paulsboro where he really made a difference. Once again, he's going to have to step up for his team to repeat as champions.
Tim Breaker, he's accounted for 23 touchdowns, 16 touchdown passes. He's got 5 rushing touchdowns. He's also returned a punt for a touchdown. He's returned an interception for a touchdown. This guy is dynamic. He can do anything on the field. He's as great a defensive player as he is an offensive player. But more importantly for Glassboro, he's their leader. He's the guy. He's the heartbeat of this team. And, the way he goes is the way this team goes. Obviously, he's gone good this year, leading them to an 11-0 start, looking for 12-0 today. In a return to quarterback, Breaker, of course, was not a quarterback last year on this team, but was a part of that 12-0 squad as well.
Pensgrove came out here originally with black uniforms on. The officials told them they had to take it off. We'll see if that changes things psychologically for this Pensgrove team. Glassboro, of course, with the home field advantage and a tremendous amount of confidence knowing that they've been here before and they've done it. Stick around. We'll have the kickoff for you in just a moment. Thank you. Welcome back to Marvin Slomsky Memorial Field, about to get underway here. Glassboro in their home maroon with gold numbers. Pensgrove, white tops, red numbers, and black pants. Kicking off for Glassboro will be Brad Dobson, the 6'3" senior, to kick it away. Back to receive for Pensgrove is Jay Brown, the quarterback. There you see the temperature today, 39 degrees, wind 4 miles per hour out of the south-southeast. And we are underway here at Glassboro. All bouncing, and Brown will take. Still on his feet, spinning away from tackles, but brought down at the 25-yard line where Pensgrove will start 1st and 10.
Brown returns.
Of course, you mentioned before, Mike, we had an opportunity to do these two teams earlier in the season, and it was a relatively close game to start, and then Glassboro pulled away. You take a look at the offensive line for Pensgrove's Red Devils.
Big Ken Jefferson there in the left tackle, number 72, 6'3", 290.
Offensive backs and receivers, of course, Aaron Hayward, the man to keep an eye on.
Hayward, 18 total touchdowns this season. An electrifying player.
The pitch to snap to Brown. And he is dropped for a loss. You know, one thing we often talk about when we discuss Glassboro football, it's that offense of theirs, but it's truly their defense that has put them in this position. A stifling defense throughout the season, and Aaron Hayward's going to have his hands full against the Bulldogs.
Glassboro only giving up 58 points this season. That's 5.3 points per game. You get a look at their starters on the defensive line.
James Scruggs, Hicks, Bell, and Gaines, your linebackers. And then, of course, in your secondary, it's Tunstall, Baxter, Breaker, and Ganson, and they are outstanding.
Dangerous group back there in the defensive backfield. Guys that can return an interception at any moment.
And a big hit laid out as Pensgrove's Darren Mills carries the football. Mills was very impressive against Woodbury
Darren Mills on the carry.
when we had them on Comcast. There you see Herb Nealio,
Copying in Hicks.
7th year, 64-14 career mark. Of course, he is the defending champion in Group 1. And there you see Kemp Carr over on the other side, who has done a nice job turning around this program, a 30-22 career mark. So a long third down now, and Brown will keep. Brown, not a whole lot there. He will pick up a couple, and Pensgrove will be forced to punt. So 3 and out for the Red Devils.
And you know, interesting, Hayward, the stud running back, not really getting involved in the offense here on the first series for Pensgrove. Actually, I don't even know if he was on the field half of those for any of those plays. He's not. He's been standing on the sideline, number 9. I know he tweaked his ankle. Actually, no, I'm sorry, left knee in the Pensgrove 14-0 win against Heights.
You see the last meeting without Hayward, where Glassboro really had their way in the second half, particularly. And this punt away from the Red Devils, angled towards the sideline, and this will bounce, get a good roll, and bounce inside the 40-yard line. So Glassboro will take over with good field position, 1st and 10 for Breaker and the Dogs.
So Hayward had that bone bruise on his left knee, missed most of the first quarter against Haddon Heights in the semifinal win on November 22nd. Still had 14 carries for 67 yards the rest of the way, but who knows? As we get a look at the Glassboro starting offensive line.
Sands topping Anderson, Scruggs, and Ellis. Davis, Bell, Tunstall, Jackson, and Corman, your skill players.
Tunstall the top target for a Breaker.
Handoff and absolutely nothing doing for Glassboro's Stephen Davis. Loss of a yard, 2nd and 11.
The thing about the Glassboro offense is there's not one guy to key on as you get a look at the starters for the Red Devils
Garnett,
defensive
Hickman,
line.
Hayward, and Jefferson. Mendez, Ridgway, and Mills, that may be the strength of this defense. Mills, Moore, Brown, and Chris Georges, your secondary.
Yeah, Ridgway and Mendez, 2 outstanding linebackers, 7 years of experience between the 2 of them, and over 100 tackles apiece in the last couple seasons for those guys.
2nd down and 11 for the Bulldogs. Breaker, penalty flag on the field, and Breaker gets hit. Ball is loose. Pensgrove scoops it up, and Pensgrove has possession.
Official, though, behind the play, Rob, calling incomplete pass. He was waving his arms immediately, saying it was incomplete pass. Incomplete pass as Breaker's hand was going forward. But there's going to be a flag on the play anyway, so all this excitement is going to get toned down real quick.
I believe this one against Glassboro, so had it been a fumble, Pensgrove would have been able to retain possession. Officials talking it over. So, illegal formation, the call.
Ruled an incomplete pass.
We get a look.
Let's take a look.
Illegal formation on the Bulldogs.
Pressure comes from the backside. Big hit. ball pops loose, but it seemed as if obviously the ball had to be coming forward there, because otherwise, as you said, Rob, it would have been ruled a fumble, and Pensgrove could have had the option to take the result of the play.
Third down, out of the shotgun breaker, the bubble screen right in front, and that is another fine defensive play by the Red Devils, as they will drop Glassboro for a loss. And two defenses have stepped up early here in this championship football game.
Kyle Hickman, big time play there, number 78 for Pensgrove, coming up, not fooled on that. He's a defensive tackle, and he did not get fooled on that screen. A couple guys were coming in on the blitz. He stayed back at home and was able to make the tackle easily for a loss of a yard.
Tunstall to punt to Brown. Brown will watch it bounce and he'll take it on one hop at the 27-yard line. Dances through the special teams of Glassboro and down at the 32-yard line. A return of 5 yards. 1st and 10, Red Devils. And again, we'll keep an eye on Hayward.
Still on the sideline, standing right there at the 40. Has his helmet on, but he is not coming onto the field. Very interesting. And you wonder what kind of, if that injury is still bothering him. But he's on the sideline.
Ken Carr out to talk to his quarterback, Jay Brown. Brown, a sophomore, 5'10", 175 pounds. Talent in his own right. Just under 8 minutes in the first quarter. We are scoreless at Glassboro. In motion, Georges, and the handoff inside will pick up a couple.
Looks like that was Mills again. You mentioned it earlier, Rob. The numbers, though: 13 carries for 120 on rushing yards and a touchdown for Mills. In the semis for Pensgrove, a big game for them.
Tackled by Gary Scruggs. Bring up 2nd and 8.
But this is the kind of situations that Pensgrove was in the last time they played here back on October 24th. A lot of 2nd, 3rd, and longs. And as the game wore on, it really caught up to them. They were able to hang in for a half, keep it close. It was 7-6 at halftime. And then Glassboro just pulled away with some tremendous big plays in that game.
2nd down and long. In motion for Pensgrove, that is Mills. Brown keeps. Brown tackled from behind. He'll pick up about 3. So this Glassboro defense, again, creating long 3rd downs for the Red Devils.
And, the one thing about Glassboro's defense, I said they've allowed just 58 points this season over their 11 games. 27 of those points have come in their last 2 games, the 21-13 win at Paulsboro, and then Thanksgiving Day as they beat Deptford 34-14. So, I guess you talk about what they did throughout the previous 9 games, and you're really impressed with those numbers.
Again, 3rd down for the Red Devils. Working out of the shotgun, Brown. He's got trips left. Now in motion, it's Georges. And a timeout called by Pensgrove. Of course, last night, Delsey defeating West Deptford on a field goal with no time remaining to take the Group 2 championship, and Shawnee and Group 3 had their way with Hamilton. This afternoon, Glassboro and Pensgrove squaring off in Group 1, and Group 4, Mainland hosting Southern. It was interesting, I read a column the other day by Phil Anastasia, and he was suggesting that, Mike, the playoffs should not end so early. They should have a true state champion. Thoughts?
Well, to extend the season probably another 2 more weeks, I guess. So it's going to make for a much longer season. I guess and that would cause problems for basketball coaches like Glassboro's Russ Winsett, who we were talking to before the game, saying he hasn't had his full complement of team out there on the practice court yet, and they've got a scrimmage coming up in a couple days because half of the guys are on this football team. But they would have to obviously back this, move the start of the season up. Then you're talking about maybe the week. Rather than the week school starts, maybe even the week before. Like you're talking Labor Day weekend, you're talking maybe even the last weekend of August then. And then when are these guys going to start practicing? You're talking about July, then you're looking at NFL type thing. Just the calendar doesn't allow for that much time, I don't think. I mean, it would be nice to say, yeah, I'm the state champion, the best in the whole state, but right now the system, as flawed as it is the way it is, and there's not really, I mean, what else can you do?
Third down. Brown fakes the handoff, keeps, and he gets smacked inside. Not a whole lot there. Big hit laid out by Nalim Toppy.
Yeah, if you're going to call a timeout,
Stuck by number 58,
and then
Topping.
come up with a play like that, it's just kind of counterproductive on that time, the use of that timeout. If you're going to call a timeout there,
Fourth and about 4.
don't run the same play you've run 3 times already in this game in your 6 plays. Come up with something. Let's show a different look. I mean, Hayward's still on the bench, so that takes a weapon away. He must be injured in some manner because he's still standing on the sidelines next to Coach Carr over there, or next to one of the assistant coaches over by the 30, now walking towards Coach Carr, kind of following him around.
Pensgrove to punt it away, low line drive, and back to take it. It's Breaker. Breaker at his 31-yard line. Breaker stringing it outside, and he will be stopped at about the 36, so a 5-yard return. Glassboro will take over once again with 5:27 remaining in the first quarter. There is a penalty flag on the field. This looks like it's going to go against the Bulldogs.
10 yards. So they start off back at their own 26.
First and 10 Bulldogs.
First down and 10 for Glassboro, 5:27 remaining. We are scoreless in the South Jersey Group 1 championship game. Glassboro, your defending champion, taking on upstart Pensgrove. The pitch, and Davis with some room, knocked down at about the 31-yard line.
And this is the thing about the Glassboro offense, very versatile. You've got Stephen Davis, senior, 465 yards coming into today with 7 touchdowns. You've got LaRonde Gaines, another senior, 426 yards, 5 touchdowns. Breaker can run the ball. Chris Baxter has 8 total touchdowns. He's a fullback, whereas number 5. So this team's versatile. Here's Davis taking the pitch. Pensgrove doing a nice job stringing it out, but Davis finds a little bit of a seam to pick up 5 or 6.
Second down for the Bulldogs. Neither offense has been able to get on track this far. Breaker again will hand off, and once again, not a whole lot there for Stephen Davis.
And there's the 2 guys you're going to see a lot of today from this Pensgrove defense. 52, Angel Mendez, 59, Sam Ridgway. 2 linebackers, Mendez a senior, Ridgway a junior. Both have great speed, hard-hitting, strong guys. Gets through the hole there, but there you see Mendez, 52, making the tackle.
And Tony Hayward also wreaking havoc in his backfield. Third down for the Bulldogs. Breaker again rolling right. Has time, throws it up, has his man, and he has a reception. Hooking up with Danon Green. First down, Bulldogs.
42, first and 10 Bulldogs.
Green, the tight end, 6'2", 225. Little play action there. Breaker back, has plenty of time, and Green just lets Green run his route, gets wide open, hangs on for the first down.
Breaker on the season, 63% passing completion rate, 16 touchdowns, and just 1 interception. The handoff right up the gut, and Baxter spinning his way for a few.
Well, they don't put it up a lot, Glassboro. Breaker came in today, 64 completions on 102 attempts. So they pass effectively and efficiently when they have to. But this team can move the ball however you want them to. If you're going to try and stop the run, they'll pass. If you're going to try and stop the pass, they'll run.
Tunstall, his #1 target. 564 receiving yards during the season with 7 touchdowns. Second down, we'll call it 6.
Tunstall also 33 of Breaker's 64 completions.
Inside still spinning and picking up 2 or 3 on a second and third effort was P.J. James, the sophomore.
And that's the thing. You bring in a P.J. James there, number 1. He's not one of their, 3 guys in the backfield that have all the touchdowns, but this is another guy, more depth, and that's what Glassboro. And we talked about the last time these two teams played, Rob, was the depth. You look at the sideline. Glassboro's tons of guys on the sideline. Pensgrove looks like about maybe a dozen or so players on the sideline. So over the course of a game and over the course of that game last time, it just seemed Glassboro just wore them down.
Third down. Breaker, again, back to pass, has a man, hits him right at the marker, and we'll see where the spot is as Breaker finds P.J. James, and forward progress will give Glassboro a first down.
Another example, pass when they have to, take advantage of it, picking up the first down easily by a couple of yards. Breaker very efficient, takes good care of the football.
First and 10, their first foray into Pensgrove territory, 1:53 remaining. Breaker will keep, cuts it back inside. Breaker still on his feet. Breaker, a nice effort, picking up 5 or 6 on first down. See Breaker biding his time here.
Very casual, too. Look at that. Here you go. I'll keep it. And I'll pick up 5 yards.
Red Devils 42.
Second down and 5 for Glassboro. Clock continues to move. We approach the 1-minute mark remaining in this first quarter. Breaker has a man wide open, throws underneath, it's underthrown, and in and out of the hands of Jay Brown.
Brown saw a lot of green in front of him, too, and I think he took his eye off the ball a second as he glanced upfield to see that he had some room to run.
Looking for Gadsden, and that ball
just a touch underthrown, and Brown peeked back, peeked forward to see what was in front of him, and I think that's why he dropped the football. But had Tunstall open on the other side, too. Kind of pick and choose there for Breaker. Seemed as if he watched his receiver on that side the whole time. That kind of let Brown kind of sneak over there, too. But the ball a little bit underthrown today.
Breaker again out of the shotgun. Third down. Breaker keeps, throws, dumps it, has his man James, and James will pick up the first down.
You saw James try and stop, and he slipped a little bit. You'd think the field wouldn't be too slippery, but it's kind of wet underneath that grass. And James tried to stop, and you'll see his heels kind of just keep on going here in the replay. And nobody picks him up as he comes out of the backfield. He was one of the guys faking the handoff. Nobody picked him up, and then he tries to slam on the brakes. And you see him go right down. But he gets another first down for Glassboro as they continue to march here on this drive.
As the first down and 10 inside their 35-yard line, approaching 30 seconds remaining. Breaker with the screen pass, and he has his man in Tunstall. Tunstall driving forward and should have enough for the first down.
Tackled by number 3, Darren Moore.
Get another look at this, and this is what Tunstall does. He just takes passes and runs. He just gets it and goes. A lot of yards after the catch this year for Tunstall. Nice work here. Picking up the first down easily.
See the secondary playing very soft on Tunstall. Glassboro likely to get one more playoff here before the end of the first quarter. Breaker will hand it off, and it's Davis. Davis with a lot of room. Cuts against the grain. Davis brought down from behind inside the 10-yard line. That will be enough for a first down. A lot of room for for Davis.
That's a touchdown-saving tackle, too, right there by Tony Hayward, 77. Look at him in pursuit. He's 5 yards behind the play. He comes up and just dives and takes down Davis inside the 10, but he certainly would have been gone had he not made that tackle. So, at least for the time being, keeps the game scoreless.
That'll be the last play of the first quarter. They will switch sides. We head to break. South Jersey Group 1 Championship is scoreless. Welcome back. First play of the second quarter, thrown up and almost a one-hand catch by Roderick Tunstall. Breaker had Tunstall and just led him a little too far. So second down and goal. One development here in the second quarter is Aaron Hayward has checked back into the game. I would speculate that it is a discipline issue, but we'll talk a little bit about that momentarily.
You see Breaker back to pass, eyeing Tunstall the whole way. He's been his top target this year. As I said, 33 of his 64 completions have gone Tunstall's way, and just a touch overthrown there. Tunstall couldn't haul it in. But he's been reliable throughout this year for Tim Breaker, no question about it.
Second and goal from the 9-yard line. Split right, it's Tunstall. Left, it's James Brown. Breaker back to pass with time across the middle, and again leads his receiver just a little too far, looking for James Brown.
I'm really surprised Glassboro's thrown it twice in a row here down tight. You've got 3 backs that have between them 20 touchdowns this season. You can pound it on these guys. Why not do so? Now you're looking at 3rd and goal here, about 8 yards to get to the end zone. See what Herb Nealio dials up on this play.
Well, that's what I like about watching this Glassboro football team. Herb Nealio is not afraid to throw the football. Haggerty here a couple of years back, despite being undersized, was a successful passer. And once again, he has Tim Breaker, who's listed at 6 foot. That may be a little bit generous, but he has done a fine job throwing the football. Now, Glassboro has called a timeout. We mentioned that Aaron Hayward has checked into the game. We speculate that it was a discipline issue, but that's frankly not fair to Aaron Hayward. We're not certain exactly why he did not play the first quarter, but oftentimes, if it was that type of issue, that's something that the coaching staff frankly wouldn't discuss.
Oh, definitely not. And I mean, you would know yourself firsthand, Rob, as being, having that coaching background, that that's kind of things you keep in house. And there was no indication coming out here today that anything was amiss, that we weren't going to see Hayward at all. But when you see him on the sidelines there, and he's had been banged up this year a couple times, you wonder, has the injury bug reared its ugly head on him again? But he's out there now playing in the defensive backfield. So I can only imagine he'll be out there once Pensgrove gets the football, whether it's via stopping Glassboro here on these next 2 plays, or after the kickoff, if Glassboro can punch it in or get a field goal.
So a 3rd down for the Bulldogs after the timeout from Glassboro. See some of the sports writers on hand.
The great Phil Anastasia there. Bob Vigiano on the left with the orange coat from the Courier Post.
Scott Chapelier, who was our stat man yesterday. Breaker, and all penalties galore. Throws underneath, has Tunstall, but this play's going to come back.
Right side of the offensive line, there was some movement.
I thought it was snowing yellow flakes.
Oh, yeah. You can see on the right side there, number 7 in motion, Courtney Gadsden, I should say, the senior. Just took a couple steps forward there.
And we'll remember that play, as that will take a touchdown off the board. It's 3rd down and goal from the 14-yard line.
Yeah, that's even bigger. 3rd and goal from the 14. Now you're talking, you're going to be throwing the ball here to get it into the end zone. But as you said, Herb Nealio's made some interesting calls throughout his coaching career, and we'll see what again he's got out of the playbook, as they just sent in Jonathan Ebert with a play, number 14. He's going to line up on the near side.
They better hustle, or else they're going to have another penalty here. 3rd down for Breaker. Back to pass with time, throws, has his man in Davis, and he is smoked by the Red Devils' big linebacker. And I believe that's Derek Mills.
Once again, it's Sam Ridgway, 59, the linebacker with the hit. He is just an outstanding linebacker. And watch this tackle. That is textbook. Took him right off his feet, drove him right into the ground. Nice play by Ridgway.
So that is Sam Ridgway. He's got 44 on his helmet, 59 on his jersey. They're throwing his curveballs. And now they're going to attempt the field goal. And coming on, Brad Dobson, who is a fine field goal kicker. The kick is up, and the kick sails wide left. No good. So Glassboro scored a touchdown, but because of the procedure call, it comes off the board, and Pennsgrove with possession.
And that's a major victory for this Pennsgrove defense. This Pennsgrove defense has allowed just 95 points this season, 35 of them in one game against Glassboro. So you take that away, they've given up 60 points in just 10 games aside from that. So, you know, that's a major victory for this defense. They've got 2 straight shutouts, does the Pennsgrove defense, and it's been 10 straight quarters since they've allowed a point when they got behind 21-0 to Woodbury in the postseason.
Pennsgrove really has to feel like they have a win right now. Not only have they not yielded any points, but Aaron Hayward is now checked into the game, and that will certainly be a lift for the Red Devils. Brown hands it to Hayward, and Hayward slips.
Yeah, he tried to make that cut there, left foot, and it just kind of slid out from under him. He did pick up a couple of yards, though, so a positive first touch for Hayward.
Picks up a yard, it'll be 2nd and 9.
2nd down and 9. We approach 10 minutes remaining in this first half. Scoreless at Glassboro, South Jersey Group 1 championship game. Glassboro looking to make it back-to-back 12-0 seasons.
They would join elite company in that regard of 12-0 seasons, back-to-back. Only Florence has done it. Paulsboro, I believe, had a couple of back-to-back 12-0 seasons.
Hayward in motion. Brown will keep. Brown gets pounded. A big play by Glassboro's number 55, Gary Scruggs.
A little bit of misdirection in the backfield there for Pennsgrove, but Scruggs not fooled.
A long 3rd down. The wind has kicked up a little bit here at Glassboro. We started the game, it was relatively mild, but the wind has kicked up to some degree, and I believe it is to the back of the Bulldogs.
That other team, West Deptford, was that 3rd team to go 12-0 in back-to-back seasons. And the interesting thing is, those 12-0 seasons have all been since the turn of the century. Paulsboro 2001, 2002, West Deptford 2003 and 2004, and Florence did it twice, 2003, 2004, and then again 2004, 2005. So they had actually 3 straight 12-0 seasons, did Florence. I know Glassboro doesn't want to think about that yet, but that, of course, you know, something that if they could pull it out today, could look forward to a year from now.
3rd down, Brown out of the shotgun. Rolls to his right. Throws it underneath. And a 50-50 ball falls to the turf.
And that play just took too long to develop. Watching the wide receiver go out for the pass, Darren Moore, the senior 6'1", 180, going up against Ricky Tunstall. And it just took so long for Brown to roll out to his right that Moore had already made his break and was stopped and cut back to be receiving that pass, but it still wasn't there.
If both of these teams have to throw the football, then I like Glassboro's chances. Breaker, a better passer than Brown. Pennsgrove now will punt it away. Wind has picked up 10 miles per hour, so it's picked up considerably. And again, Pennsgrove kicking into the wind. And a bad exchange, ball loose. Touchdown, Glassboro. Well, you know, Mike, I was about to say a bad snap, but it certainly wasn't a bad snap. The punter just mishandled the football, and as a result, you know, Chris Georges couldn't fall on the football. Glassboro did, and they lead 6-0.
Tyquan Briggs, number 10, comes out of the pile with it for the touchdown, and that's the one thing that Pennsgrove could not afford. Big plays on the Glassboro side. This one, not a big offensive play, but a big defensive play for Glassboro. Pennsgrove had dodged the bullet last time, not allowing any points from Glassboro, but here, the turnover and
The extra
touchdown.
point is no good. So it is 6-0.
We'll get another look at it. Here's the snap. Nothing wrong with it right there, but just kind of mishandled. And then, of course, it's going to get knocked around. Briggs in there, the first man in there, and then he falls on the football in the end zone. Great hustle by Briggs.
Well, Georgia's had an opportunity to fall on the football. Obviously, Glassboro would have had excellent field position and still had an opportunity to score, but instead he tried to pick it up and run with it. That didn't work out too well.
I couldn't tell you because that's not where I was.
And it might have even covering it and allowing a safety would have been
Neilio asking why was that extra point no good, and the official saying I can't tell you, I'm not in that position. So great audio by our crew. Dobson to kick it away. 8:13 remaining first half. Glassboro strikes first on the special teams mishap.
But a big extra point miss, of course, that always can loom large later in a ball game.
Dobson kicks to Mills. Mills takes inside the 20-yard line. A big hit laid out. And Mills takes it to the 28-yard line. So Pensgrove will look to answer. And Kemp Carr out talking with his quarterback, Jay Brown, to start things. With 8:08 remaining. And Pensgrove really not untracked offensively.
No, they haven't really gotten anything going yet whatsoever. Now Hayward's gotten his feet wet. He was out there on that last series. He's in there again now. So we'll see if they go to him, but they do run that full house backfield, 3 backs in the backfield along with Brown.
Fumble picked up by Mills, and Mills drives forward.
Snap picked up by Mills.
And that was the huge play that Mills made last time for Pensgrove last week, or 2 weeks ago, I should say, when they won that semifinal game. A ball was fumbled just like that. He picked it up and ran 55 yards on a ball that would have been recovered at the 2 or 3 and given the opponent great field position in that game.
Bring up 2nd and 5.
So Mills picks it up and pushes forward for 5 yards. It's one of the better gains on the day for Pensgrove. You might want to put that play in their back pocket.
Hey, it worked before, too. Like I said, 55 yards 2 weeks ago against Haddon Heights in that 14-0 semifinal win.
Brown hands off inside, and again pushing forward for 2 or 3. It looked to be Mills.
Hand off again to Mills.
Mills just a sophomore. Brown a sophomore. You've got Hayward, of course, the senior back there. Number 5, Corey Ransom, another running back, a junior in the backfield for Pensgrove. And then they've got the big freshman, Tashawn Hayward, 256 pounds. He can just pound it on you. And when you've got short yardage situations, that's a guy who you want the football in his hands.
3rd down. We'll call it 3. 36-yard line. We'll go to Hayward. No, keep. It's Mills on the misdirection. So he had me fake twice.
And that's the thing when you've got that full house backfield. You could throw arms out either way, and you've got guys running past you. So one of them's going to take it, but it's just the question is who. Good spot, and they got a 1st down out of it.
Wow, very good spot for Pensgrove.
1st down, red dot.
And they move the chains. Pensgrove, of course, started very slowly against Woodbury. They were down 21-0, and then they came charging right back. This is a Glassboro defense that is one of the best in South Jersey, so they don't want to get that far behind, certainly.
6 shutouts this year for this Glassboro defense.
Here's Hayward. Hayward looking to cut it inside. Not a whole lot there.
Hayward on the carry.
Maybe 2.
It seems like it's just taking a while for plays to develop on the Pensgrove offensive side. They really don't seem to get things going. Here's some numbers on Hayward.
Little reference to Kansas there. Right?
A couple of 200-yard games this year. 221 against Shallock on 12 carries. 235 against Woodbury, 23 carries. Some nice numbers. Of course, didn't play in that Glassboro game here on the 24th.
Well, tip of the hat to our graphics on the title. 70s rock and roll.
Injured in that Haddon Heights game.
And Brown keeps, turns it inside. Brown stretches forward.
Brown with a keep.
Good gain there for about 5. Give him another 3rd and 3. 3rd and maybe a long 4 situation. It looks like 3rd and 3.
Picks up about 3. It'll be 3rd and 3.
3rd down and 3. This is the same situation they had on their last 3rd down where they were able to pick up the first. First down would be just inside the 50-yard line.
And this is probably the biggest thing of the day for the Penns Grove offense. How often they can convert 3rd down situations and keep drives alive. Because that's really what they want to do. Keep drives alive, keep moving the football, keep that Glassboro offense off the field.
Brown. Hayward. And he'll have enough for the first down. Hayward following his blocks, found a seam and picked up 5.
And there it is, sustaining drives. Hayward with the play that time.
It'll be first down, Red Devils.
And we'll see him come from the right side of the offensive formation, finds a seam, gets across the 50 into Glassboro territory.
A couple of first downs for the Red Devils as the clock now approaching the 4-minute mark remaining in this first half. It's Glassboro on top 6-0. They did score a touchdown that was taken off the board due to a procedure penalty. Handoff inside, and again another pickup of about 4. So Penns Grove starting to soften up that Glassboro defensive line.
And they could do that with guys up front like Ken Jefferson, number 72, 6'3", 290. You've got Kyle Hickman, 6'1", 285. Tony Hayward's up there, 77, 6'2", 220. These guys can certainly move the pile, and they've shown that they've been able to do that for Hayward, as he's well over 1,000 yards this year, close to 1,200 yards this season. And so they can do the job.
2nd down and 6. 3:15 remaining. Hayward finds a seam. Hayward, and he'll be close to a first down. I believe he has it.
Yeah, definitely. Got it by about 3 yards. So a gain of about 9 there for Hayward that time, picking up a first down. And again, sustaining drive. Keep this thing moving. That's the Penns Grove idea here. Keep the clock moving, keep moving the football.
Clock stops as they move the chains. Now down to 3 minutes remaining. Penns Grove eating up a sizable portion of this clock. Still a long way to go. 36-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Red Devils. Hayward has started to pick things up, and the Red Devil offense has followed. Brown back to pass. Brown across the middle, has his man, a nice catch. Thrown behind the receiver, but a fine catch made by the Red Devils, Corey Ransom.
Fantastic catch by Ransom. 5'11", 185 junior coming out of the backfield. And he just found a seam and sat down, and he was wide open, wide open. And fortunately, he was able to make that catch because Brown was a little bit off target with the throw, but Ransom made the body adjustment and made the grab to pick up another first down. Penns Grove keeps this drive moving.
Kemp Carr and the offense switching gears on the Bulldogs. 1st down and 10 at the 21-yard line. Clock continuing to move here in this first half. Brown hands it to Mills. Mills is hit after a pickup of 2 or 3.
And one thing I've noticed here in this drive, Penns Grove, you got to watch the tight end, number 45, Dontre Garnett. Wherever Dontre Garnett lines up, 45, that's where Penns Grove's running the football. They're going with that strong side. So watch here in the next couple plays, see if they continue that trend, if that's the way they run that offense, or if that's just the plays that they've been utilizing here.
Red Devils in no particular hurry. 95 seconds left in this first half. 2nd down. Brown keeps, stretches it outside, and he's dropped for a loss. Dropped for a loss by Danon Green. That's a big stop.
Huge stop. Green coming up there to make the play. Shot through one of the holes. Came from the left side and takes down Brown. Pensgrove calls timeout to conserve some clock here. 1:19 left to go. Still plenty of time for the Red Devils. They have it at the Glassboro 24.
Sandwiches, drinks.
This is a Glassboro defense that has played extraordinarily well throughout the season. We mentioned that previously. And when the field is shortened up, that really gives them an opportunity to kind of pack it in. The size up front coupled with their speed in the secondary makes this a very, very difficult team to score against.
And they always say that, you know, a defense that's backed up against their own goal line is a better defense because they don't have that much field to worry about. And in this case, you know, Pensgrove doesn't really throw the ball deep anyway, so you can kind of key on things and keep things tight and just go after the football. And that's what they did there on that huge play by Green to make the tackle with Brown in the backfield and bring up now a 3rd and about 14 for the Red Devils here. And as they talk it over, it's a huge play for Pensgrove here, huge. They really have to come out of this drive with some points.
You know, the one positive, even if Pensgrove does not score here, they have to feel good about the fact that they've kept this game close. And as long as Glassboro doesn't score again before the end of the half, you know, they have to like their chances. 3rd down, 13. Brown out of the shotgun. Mills in motion. Fake handoff. Brown in trouble. Brown thrown all the way back. Ball loose. And I believe he was ruled down.
Yeah, he was ruled down at about the 36-yard line, but another big play from that Glassboro defense as they brought the house. Brown back to pass, and look at that, great effort for Glassboro as it's Christian James, a sophomore, #2, who got in there.
That was very close to a fumble. Now Georges and the Red Devils will be forced to punt. They're going to allow time to elapse. Glassboro will do the same as we are inside of 40 seconds remaining. Let's take a look and see whether or not this, in fact, was a fumble.
Yeah,
I think his elbow was down,
yeah.
So that's a good call. So inside of 30 seconds now, and it looks like the Red Devils are actually going to go for it. And now they call timeout. So, you know, it's kind of interesting. I think in just about every situation a coach here would punt it away. This speaks to Kemp Carr maybe not being comfortable with what transpired previously.
I think it also speaks to the importance of trying to keep Glassboro's, offense maybe one less play. Rob, you know, you punt it to them, they get the ball. You're going to run it here. Maybe the clock runs down. You know, it gives them maybe just 10 seconds to work with or so as you get a good look at the fans who have ringed this field to watch this huge South Jersey Group 1 final between these two Tri-County Conference classic foes. A lot of people here today for this one. And they've been entertained. It's been a good game so far.
Defensive battle. Glassboro on top 6-0. Glassboro's had plenty of opportunities. They scored, had it taken away, had a field goal attempt that went wide left, and of course they missed the point after. So Pensgrove has been hanging around.
Very similar to the game we saw here back on October 24th, really. Kind of a mirror image, really. The difference being Glassboro kind of got a gift touchdown here on that mishandled punt. Last time they kind of worked for it.
So 4th down and 25. Brown back to pass. And he's sacked again all the way back to midfield.
And that's the last thing you wanted if you're Pensgrove. You wanted to at least, move the football a little bit, put Glassboro down inside their own 30, maybe at least. Maybe not get the first down, but move the football a little bit. It turns out you're sacked. You lose another 10 yards. You're now at midfield, and this Glassboro quick strike offense certainly can make some things happen. I mean, we've talked about the big plays that they've been able to put together against this Pennsgrove defense last time. All 5 of Glassboro's touchdowns were at least 24 yards. 4 of them were over 35 yards. They had 2 60-plus yard touchdowns against Paulsboro a week ago. So this team certainly can make big plays and make them happen in a hurry. So now if you're Pennsgrove, this is not an ideal situation here.
Well, Breaker is very, very effective through the air. Frankly, just don't understand not punting the football there.
I guess the only thing you could say is they're trying to make a play happen, make something happen. They know they're kind of not favored in this game, Pennsgrove, and they know that, you know, they need some big plays. They have guys that can make big plays. That time, though, just kind of that rush of Glassboro is really what's been dominant so far. The offensive line of Pennsgrove was making some plays and really moving the football, but Glassboro's defense kind of woke up there once Pennsgrove got near the red zone.
Reverse Tunstall. Stretching it outside. Big block laid out, and he'll be knocked out of bounds after a pickup of about 8 or 9.
That's the other thing that this Glassboro offense can bring to the table. They've got a few tricks in their bag. You know, they'll run a reverse. They'll let Tunstall throw it sometimes, maybe a little lateral, and then let him throw it to break. We've seen Breaker on the receiving end of passes in the past. I mean, they've got a few tricks in the bag, and Herb Nealio is not afraid to take them out. This might be a great time for one here with 8 seconds left in the half.
If this stays in bounds, a good chance of this being the last play of the first half. Dobson has a good leg, but they would have to pick up at least 20 yards or so.
Pennsgrove, a couple of guys back. Jay Brown and Aaron Hayward are way deep.
Breaker bides time, throws deep down the middle, up for grabs and in and out of the hands of Hayward, and that'll do it. We are through one half of play. South Jersey Group 1 championship game. Glassboro on top, 6-0. Welcome back to Glassboro High School, Marvin Slomsky Memorial Field. South Jersey Group 1 championship game. We're about to begin the second half. Glassboro on top, 6-0 over the Red Devils of Pennsgrove.
Hey, lights are on here, Rob, and that's kind of the danger of that 2 o'clock start here this late in the season. You know, you're worried about darkness. Fortunately, they have lights here, so if it gets crazy, we're looking at overtime, we could have, you know, a night game. This could turn quickly to a night game, and it'll be even colder.
Well, the temperature has dropped since the start of this one. It has gotten appreciably colder. The wind's still a factor. And Pennsgrove, of course, will kick it away. George's low line drive to be picked up and returned. Mishandled, but scooped up. Now, a nice return brought down at about the 34-yard line was Christopher Baxter. Penalty flag on the field.
Flag came in from the far side. Linesman over there tossed it in. Usually from there, you're going to get a block in the back, but we'll see.
Holding against Glassboro.
The holding Bulldog.
Still, they'll lose 10 yards on that. What was pretty good field position is going to turn into awful field position back inside the 20.
So actually it's a spot foul, so that'll be taken all the way back to the 16-yard line, so a difference of 15 or 16 yards. Glassboro will have a long field as they take over here to start this second half. They lead 6-0. Touchdown scored on a special teams fumble. Handoff, Davis brought down from behind. Ball comes loose, but after the whistle blows. So a pickup of 8 or 9.
Handoff to Davis. Picks up about 8. Make that 9.
You see the numbers coming into today. Pensgrove allowing on average just 8 points. Glassboro on average just 5 points. So we expect the defense, and that's exactly what we got.
And again, remember that Pensgrove number there, 93 points against, 35 of them were put up by Glassboro.
Breaker breaks a tackle now, pitches a fumble, and Davis picks it up. Davis able to pick up the fumble and the first down.
Pitch to Davis.
Fortuitous bounce for Davis as it kind of came right back to him. Breaker, in the effort he made trying to get away from the tackle, really didn't make the pitch quite the way he lost. You see, he lost his balance there, pitched it over to Davis. A little bit low. Davis couldn't handle it, but he's quickly right on it as it didn't get away from him. Sometimes that oblong ball will take a crazy bounce. Sometimes it sits right in front of you, and that's what it did that time for Davis, fortunately.
Davis fortunate not to have a knee down when he picked that ball up. We saw that last night in the championship game between Delsey and West Deptford. Screen pass, Tunstall. Tunstall in the flat, has speed. Tunstall breaks it outside, and he's across midfield.
And that's the big plays we're talking about from this Glassboro offense. That's what you can see from this team is Breaker, the quick screen, and there goes Tunstall, picking up about 20 on this play. Look at the great speed, just breaking away from the two star linebackers on this team, 52 and 59, Mendez and Ridgway, and pushed out of bounds after he picks up about 20.
First down and 10, Bulldogs, 10:31 remaining in this third quarter.
And this is almost what happened last time when these two teams met, Rob. Glassboro came out, bang, second half, and just lit it up, and they're off to a great start here.
Handoff inside, great running, still on his feet and driving forward is LaRonde Gaines. We haven't seen much of Gaines. An impressive run there as he looks like a water bug just kind of squirting through there.
Gaines 426 yards in the season, and he got whacked in the head there as he came through, but you see, he just kind of felt his way through there, looked for some space and just kept finding it, and it picked up about 15 on that one. Another first down for Glassboro as they continue to move the football.
Remember, this drive started all the way back at the 16-yard line. First and 10 Bulldogs working out of the I formation. Again, it's Gaines, and Gaines picks up maybe one.
Probably the least productive offensive play so far for Glassboro here in the second half. Definitely, as they didn't gain anything. I thought they got a couple yards, but it'll be second and 10 here. There's no gain on the play.
Pensgrove will try to hunker down. We saw Dobson in the first half. He has a good leg. He has missed both a field goal and an extra point, however. Second down again, working out of the I. Breaker will fake the handoff. Deep drop throws, has his man wide open. That's P.J. James. James inside the 10. Touchdown, P.J. James. And there is a penalty flag down.
You might get a hold there because a couple of Pensgrove guys just kind of got dragged down and James just went over them. We'll see if this one's coming back, and I think it will. But Breaker just rolling out to his right, and he throws so well on the move, does Tim Breaker. And there's James on the run. We'll see. It looks like Tunstall might get into the mix here. And I know the hold is actually right there before Tunstall gets in. It's going to be on 12 Green, who shoved down Hayward.
So it looked like an illegal block in the back. Will back up Glassboro, but that is enough for the first down. Bulldogs will take over at the 15-yard line, so inside the red zone once again.
Yeah, the penalty marked off from the spot of the foul, which was the 5, so they'll lose 10, and it'll be first and 10 there at the 15. As Breaker kind of, before they broke the huddle, was encouraging the Glassboro crowd here, waving his hands.
Out of the shotgun, Breaker pitches to Gaines. Gaines with a lot of room. Cuts it outside. Gaines angling towards the end zone. Touchdown! LaRonde Gaines. Glassboro up 12-0.
Too easy that time. Watch Gaines. Breaker takes the snap and he waits until Dontre Garnett comes right in at him, and then the pitch, and there's nobody out there for Gaines to bring Gaines down. He just has to find some room. Then he uses a little burst of speed to get by the linebacker, and it's an easy trot to the pylon. Now Glassboro will go for 2 here to try and make it a 14-0 ball game instead of 13.
They will spot the ball on the left hash mark.
That's kind of odd.
It is odd. I don't know if you have that choice. Breaker will roll to his right. Breaker getting flushed out. Breaker throws it in the end zone. Caught!
Wow. What a throw by Breaker. He was getting pursued. 2 guys on him. He wound up on his back. And what a great feeling that's got to be. Laying on your back, and you can say to the defender, hey, nice tackle, but that's 2 more points.
Courtney Gadsden on the reception over 2 Red Devils.
Garnett and Ridgway were in Breaker's face when he threw it. We'll see if we can get a good look at Breaker as he makes the throw here. He wound up on his back, but happy nonetheless. He gets rid of 1 defender and then makes a little jump toss. Both those guys took him down after that, but a simple toss and catch there.
Breaker throws off his back foot. Gadsden comes down with it after Hayward slips in the secondary. That's a big play for Glassboro, as it is now a 14-0 lead, and right now Pensgrove will need to string together some type of offense to negate the momentum that Glassboro will have after a drive encompassing 84 yards to start the 3rd quarter.
84 yards in 3 minutes.
Exactly 9 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Dobson to kick it away. Back to return. It's Brown and Mills. Low line drive, and this gets by Brown. Brown will pick it up at the 5. Brown's in trouble, and he's cut down. Brown knocked down inside of the 10-yard line.
Now, when these 2 teams last played each other on October 24th, it was a 7-6 ball game at the half. Glassboro had scored a touchdown in the 1st quarter. Pensgrove came back with one in the 2nd quarter. But then all of a sudden, 28 unanswered points from Glassboro. They put up 2 touchdowns in the 3rd, 2 touchdowns in the 4th, as 4 different players scored, actually 5 different players scored touchdowns. 4 different players scored touchdowns in that game, and all 4 different players in the 2nd half. So, you know, Glassboro certainly has that quick strike offense that I talked about, and that's what Pensgrove has to fear here.
1st and 10 for the Red Devils. Brown will hand it off inside to Hayward, and not much there.
Yeah, maybe to the 10-yard line, maybe a yard. And now it's Pensgrove. They're going to need to make some big plays themselves. I mean, they've got to find somebody to step up and make something happen.
Hayward, arguably the top running back this year in South Jersey, headed to Rutgers University, and this Glassboro defense has completely neutralized him.
And it didn't help that he didn't play the 1st quarter. It took him a little while to get his feet wet in that 2nd quarter, and then he started making some runs. And we'll see if they can get things going again. It seemed like a lot of the momentum of that 1st half kind of went away too with that, during halftime.
Hayward. And again, you mentioned before, Mike, that it may not be wet out there, but it's not great footing, and that's something that Hayward really relies on. There you see yesterday's Group 2 final. Delsey and West Defford. We had that here on Comcast. It was a tremendous game. Delsey's Straubmuller kicking a field goal with no time remaining. And we have an unsportsmanlike penalty going against Glassboro. So that's a big pickup for the Red Devils.
And Herb Emilio's not going to be happy about that. This is a team game, and you need all your guys to be smart in this situation. An unsportsmanlike penalty is not good.
I believe it was Gadsden. And Emilio quickly subs him out. 1st and 10 Pensgrove with 7:35 left. Inside handoff, and Mills drives forward. He'll pick up about 5 or 6.
Mills with a carry.
Good gain that time of about 6 yards, as you said, Rob. And here's the foul at the end. Off to the right of your screen. A little shoving going on there.
And that's where the penalty was. That's good work by the director, Stan Ritter, to pick that up.
And that's one of those things sometimes, too. You know, you might see the guy that makes the second shove rather than the first shove. And that, you know, the foul gets thrown. Sometimes can be unfortunate for one player to kind of have something like that go against him. But usually the way it happens.
That's a big penalty because it allows Pensgrove to have some breathing room. And, of course, they didn't do much on that first play. And now generating some momentum. Second down. Again, not much there. Maybe a yard at most.
Hayward on a carry. Green and Scruggs on a tackle.
They've made a concerted effort to try to run between the tackles, and that is a tip of the hat to Glassboro's speed, particularly in the secondary.
And it's not even just in the secondary. They've got speed all over the place, and you see it on every play. I mean, they're right in there right away. As soon as the ball snaps, you're seeing these Glassboro defenders plug up these holes with quickness.
3rd and 3, Brown. Hayward knocked down and may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it.
And you know what else adds to the quickness of Glassboro's defense is what is a seemingly slowness of the Pensgrove offense as the plays are developing. You watch the quarterback Brown, who we see there off to the top part of your picture right there, number 2. It takes a while for them to get these plays kind of moving. You know, he takes the snap, but it takes a while to get the ball to his running back.
So Pensgrove will look to punt it away. And there seems to be some confusion as to what the call will be. And it's no longer Georges who will be doing the punting. Bad snap is picked up, and it's away. So this will bounce backwards and be down at about the 45-yard line. So interesting, Kemp Carr subs out the punter, and the snap is relatively short.
Yeah, it seems not everybody knew what was going on there, you know?
1,232.
Herb Nealio on the Glassboro sideline.
Thank you.
1st and 10.
He's certainly enjoyed a lot of success here with Glassboro.
5:08 remaining. Good field position as they take over at their own 45. Handoff inside and a big hit.
Breaker's handoff to Davis.
That looked like it was Hayward on the hit. Tashawn Hayward, the freshman.
Tashawn, a big boy, 6'1", 256. When the teams came out before this game started, I was standing next to him. Small.
Glassboro likely will continue to pound it on the ground. Still plenty of time. 3rd quarter, 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Glassboro with the 14-0 lead. The blitz, and in the backfield, Davis escapes, able to pick up 4 yards.
Picks up about 4.
Yeah, Angel Mendez, the linebacker, was coming on the blitz, and you saw him laying down about 3 yards deep in the backfield of Glassboro. But Davis just a little sidestep got by him and turned it into a gain of a few.
Critical 3rd down for this Pensgrove defense. They will need to hold and try to get back on offense. Clock continues to move inside of 4 minutes remaining 3rd quarter. Breaker will work out of the shotgun. In the backfield, he has Davis and James. Breaker keeps. Breaker. And he is grabbed from behind and tackled at about the 49-yard line.
Dontre Garnett, 45, making the tackle, just grabbing the jersey, doing whatever he can to keep Breaker from getting loose. You'll see it here. He kind of just reached in, grabbed the jersey, get back here, and he just hangs on to keep him from getting that 1st down. Good job.
So the Bulldogs will punt it away.
Brown back to the
Tunstall, punter. Remember, he has the ability to fake. We saw that last year against Paulsboro. Brown will watch it bounce, and this will bounce inside the 10-yard line. So Brown somewhat tentative, and Glassboro
at the Red Devils
will back up the Red Devils once again.
Great punt, 44 yards, angled away from the receiver. Had no opportunity to get to it. And at what point, if you're Pensgrove, do you say, hey, Aaron Hayward, why don't you, go return a punt for us, make a play? You might see that coming up soon because they're going to need some plays. I know Brown's been doing it for them all season long, but, in those times when you need a big play, the Eagles aren't averse to putting Brian Westbrook back there once in a while when they need a big play. Do the same thing.
First down and 10, ball spotted at the 6-yard line for the Red Devils. They are working into the wind. Full house backfield for Brown. Right up the gut, Mills spins off a tackle, and a nice tackle made by Glassboro's Christopher Baxter. Otherwise, that would have been a 95-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, Mills busting loose here, and he's been impressive today. Gets through the hole, not a big one, but see that little spin there is what kind of forced him down. It was Breaker who made that first hit and made him make the spin.
Here's Mills once again. Mills running hard. We were very impressed with Mills when we saw Pensgrove against Woodbury, and Mills is starting to spark this offense.
Fired up is Mills. I'll tell you what, if I'm Pensgrove, I got to kind of get this offense moving a little quicker. You can't waste a lot of time. You're losing, you need 2 scores just to tie this thing. You can't be wasting time with getting plays in. You got to move this thing quick.
Second down and short. Call it 2. Brown keeps, and he'll have enough for the first down and then some.
Pensgrove feeling it a little bit here. The offensive line getting things flowing, getting things moving. You see the fake to Hayward, and then Brown keeps it. Here's the schedule for Pensgrove this year and what they've done. 5 shutouts, including 2 in a row here. The semifinal against Haddon Heights, and then their final regular season game, their annual Thanksgiving game with Pennsville. They haven't been scored upon since the second quarter at Woodbury when they were trailing 21-0. Came out, pulling that one out 28-21, mainly behind Hayward, who had over 230 yards in that one.
First and 10. Again, right up the middle, it's Mills. Mills fighting for yards, and Mills has been effective.
Very effective. That's 7 or 8 right there. You're going to get 7 and 8 yards on first down. You got to be happy with that. And they're getting great work on the line there in the middle as Mills is finding holes. Here's you see the Glassboro schedule with their 6 shutouts, some big wins in there.
And this time, Pensgrove dropped for a loss.
Mills again with a carry.
Third down.
In the backfield. Third about 4.
And again, every third down becomes more and more critical to Pensgrove.
Just 45 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. And again, Pensgrove needing 2 scores. And they haven't shown any real, need to work quickly. They've been really hesitant and slow in getting to the line of scrimmage.
Brown, hands off right up the middle. Mills into the secondary. Mills inside the 30, knocked out of bounds by Christopher Baxter.
Out of bounds by Baxter.
Baxter had the angle on Mills to keep him from going all the way. It was just a matter of being able to force him out of bounds, and he did that nicely. But wow, watch Mills. Electric here through the line, and then a lot of room to run. But Baxter, you see, he had the angle there and a step on Mills, and all he had to do was kind of force him out of bounds. That well done by Baxter to get him out of bounds.
18.5 seconds remaining. Pensgrove driving. This started deep in their own end. Ball spotted inside the 30.
Mills kind of the spark that this Pensgrove team needed.
Again, full house backfield for Brown. It's Hayward. Hayward outside the tackles. Hayward outside. Angles. Hayward in. Touchdown. Wow. There you see why Aaron Hayward is so electrifying. Seemingly nothing there, and he turns on the afterburners. Hayward is in for the touchdown. A 30-yard touchdown run, and Pensgrove right back in this one.
And they got a great block on the outside. One block was all Hayward needed on that outside, and he got it. Just a little chip gave him enough room to turn the corner and get in for the touchdown. Fantastic work by the Pensgrove offensive line on this drive. It really came to life here. You know what? This game's not over yet.
Pensgrove will now attempt 2. Going for the 2-point conversion. Again, full house backfield. Hayward forward. Hayward in. The 2-point conversion is good.
Wow, that's close. That was real close to not being in. He lost his balance again, slipped. It looked like his knee may have gone down before he got across the goal line. We'll get another look at it here. But hey, you got a guy like Hayward.
This is the touchdown run. And again, you see Hayward. Right here is where you really start to see the speed.
And there was a block. There was a secondary block in there that kind of sprung that hole for him.
It looked like he may have had that 1 foot out of bounds.
Yeah, the left foot right around the 3-yard line. And the official was kind of running along, and it looked like he was going to stop there and point to it, and then he just kind of kept going past and raised his hands for a touchdown. This Pensgrove team fired up.
9.1 seconds left, and this crowd has come alive on both sidelines. Here is the 2-point conversion.
And get a look at it again. Hayward gets it, finds a little seam in the middle. Oof. Well, he stretched out.
I think it's a good call.
We got a ball game. That's for sure. 14-8.
Well, there you saw why Aaron Hayward is just so dynamic and why Coach Greg Schiano wants him up at Rutgers University.
And that's what I was going to say. When you have a player like him, and you only have to get 2 yards to get 2 points, that's why you're going for 2 there. You know he can get it. He's done it all these years. Why not give him the football and say, hey, big fella, get us 2 yards and get us 2 points.
Good shot of Herb Melio, always very calm on the sidelines. His team has been here before, and he's enjoyed success.
Calm but intense. He's a very intense coach, too.
Nice kick all the way back inside the 10. It is fumbled and now picked up. Gaines. Dancing. Gaines. Stretching it out. Gaines has 2 men to beat. He beats one of them. Gaines now finally brought down by Georges, the kicker. What a return by LaRonde Gaines to end the 3rd quarter. We're going to have an exciting 4th quarter for you. Stick around. Glassboro on top of Pensgrove in the South Jersey Group 1 championship game, 14-8.
Ball will be on Pensgrove's 39-yard line. First down, ball. And that's the end of the 3rd quarter with a corner.
Welcome back to Glassboro. The Bulldogs on top 14-8. We start this 4th quarter. The handoff. P.J. James into the secondary. James is on his way. Touchdown.
Wow. Just when you think this game is tight, Glassboro brings out that big plays again.
Penalty flag on the field.
Ooh. Pensgrove still has some life. There's the handoff. Wow, 72 on the offensive line for Glassboro. Anthony Ellis.
I think there's a couple players there that could have been flagged.
Bulls holding on the Bulldogs.
You know, the Bulldogs have to feel like they're kind of snake bit. Big play after big play comes back or is negated in some way with a penalty call, but again.
So they still get the first down though, Rob. because of the touchdown. They're going to get the first down, and it's a 10 yards from that spot.
So Baxter picks up about 7 yards.
And Pensgrove has really dodged a couple bullets here. They stopped Glassboro early on in the first quarter on a first. They had a 1st and goal. Didn't get any points out of it.
They've had 3 touchdowns called back because of penalties. 3. Of course, one of those 3 they did go on to score, and it's very possible the second one they will as well. But nonetheless, second down and 3 for the Bulldogs. Trips left for Breaker and some movement against Glassboro.
Scenario looking like a 2nd and 8 instead of 2nd and 3. Glassboro during the regular season penalized 56 times. This has got to be their 5th today.
Second down and 8. Clock continues to move. Out of the eye. Breaker. Cut off by George, in and out of his hands. Breaker locked in on his receiver, James Brown. George cut in front, and that's the 3rd ball today that Breaker could have had intercepted that was dropped.
And Brown made a fantastic route. The ball just floated a little bit and gave George's the opportunity to get in there and make the interception, or knock it away at least. He could have had the interception, but running the route, Brown did a nice job. A little stop and a quick cut to the inside. He was open, but again, that ball just floated a little bit. And brings up 3rd and long now. Big defensive play for Pensgrove here.
Back, Breaker. He's hit while he throws. Coming down with it, it's intercepted. Intercepted by Ridgway. Down the sideline, Ridgway still on his feet, now knocked out of bounds.
Wow. Ridgway, the man on the spot, but the play really comes apart because of the hit on Breaker. We're going to look at it here and try and see who made the big hit that forced this ball to float up there, and there it is. 72 is Ken Jefferson, the big man on the defensive line. And then, of course, Ridgway makes the catch and run. And that's what you expect from these linebackers on this Pensgrove team. Ridgway and Mendez have done it for a number of years for this team. And they're going to give this Pensgrove team an opportunity here now to tie it and maybe take the lead.
Well, touchdown would tie it, and of course they have the opportunity for the extra point. It's 14-8. Still a lot of football to be played here. 10 minutes and 25 seconds remain. Pensgrove with the football in Glassboro territory. Hayward, and he is negated. Actually, that was Mills.
Mills has been the workhorse, though. They've really been feeding him the football. You know, Hayward got the touchdown, but Mills has been the guy that's gotten a lot of the done a lot of the dirty work, so to speak, getting a lot of the big yardage on these drives. Particularly the last drive, the scoring drive.
No gain, 2nd and 10 inside of 10 minutes. Pensgrove's crowd has come alive. The momentum has certainly turned here. Brown, Hayward, strings it, cuts inside. Hayward, we got a penalty flag here. That's going to be holding.
Hayward took him down 2, but there's a flag on the play.
So you have like a 2nd and 15.
Preliminary signal holding Pensgrove.
Actually, second and more than 15. The hold was in the backfield.
Stands are
Wow.
from the Glassboro marching band.
Actually, the hold was during the run. He's going to lose 10 yards from the spot. So you're just looking at second and about 18, 17 here.
Again, Pensgrove is not a team that necessarily feels comfortable throwing the football. They like to keep the ball on the ground with Mills and Hayward. Brown fumbles the football. It's loose, picked up by the Bulldogs. And it's loose again, but the Bulldogs fall on it. Tunstall on the recovery. Glassboro with a big turnover here.
Just flat out dropped on the exchange. Then it got kicked around. You see it laying there. Tunstall picks it up, but Hayward on the spot to take him down, and the ball came loose again. And Glassboro recovers again. Wild sequence there, but Glassboro comes out of the pack with it.
This is not unlike what we saw last evening between Delsey and West Deptford, with critical turnover followed up with critical turnover. 14-8, Glassboro with the lead. Davis, oh, and he is just absolutely pounded. And now penalty flags come in.
And that's going to be from that tackle up high there around the neck. I think we're going to get the foul there. Yeah, personal foul.
15-yard face mask, and Pensgrove now back on their heels.
Wow. Didn't really see that he grabbed the face mask. I just thought it was a high tackle, and they were calling maybe something, an illegal hit around the head there. But face mask the call.
Place the ball. Red Devil 21. First down, Bulldogs.
Clock continues to move now inside of 9 minutes. That's a big pickup for the Bulldogs. They are at the 21-yard line. Trips left for Breaker. James in the backfield. James gets the handoff, and he'll pick up a couple.
James picks up that 3. Attacked by number 34.
James has broken a lot of big runs today. That time, Pensgrove's defense keeps him in check, but he has made some big plays today. And again, it speaks to the depth of this Glassboro backfield. And you've got Davis, Baxter, Gaines, and they bring James in there off the bench. Plus, of course, Breaker can run it and make things happen.
James and Gaines in the backfield for Breaker. Gaines on the deep handoff, breaking tackles. Gaines stretches it outside. Gaines running through people and finally brought down. I tell you what, LaRonde Gaines with a tremendous run. He may only be 5'10", and that may even be a stretch, but you cannot measure the heart of this young man.
Yeah, kind of crowded in there, and he's just looked for some room. That time, Garnett couldn't hang on. 45, and he gets away. Look at that little shoulder.
Right into Brown, the quarterback of Pensgrove. So a critical third down now for the Bulldogs. Stretched wide right, it's Gadsden. Tunstall to the left of Breaker. Breaker will hand it off. Inside, James will have more than enough.
Hand off to James. Wait for the spot.
First down for the Bulldogs.
And it'll be 1st and 10. It's not inside the 10-yard line, rather than 1st and goal.
First down, Bulldogs.
So they can still technically get a first down before scoring a touchdown.
First down and 10. As you mentioned, Mike, just outside the 10-yard line. Breaker with P.J. James in the backfield. Gaines and Tunstall split left. The handoff, James into the secondary. Touchdown! P.J. James has put Glassboro on top, 20-8.
No flags on the play. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
When you look at the rushing leaders on this Glassboro team, James isn't even listed among the top 5, but today he's been a star for this Glassboro offense.
Well, Pensgrove looked like they had turned this one around after the interception by Ridgeway, but the botch snap, Tunstall falls on it. And Glassboro now in the end zone. They will go for 2 with 6:44 left in this one. They lead 20-8. James in the backfield. Breaker throws it outside, and that falls incomplete.
2-point conversion.
Breaker got blasted by Tony Hayward, too, right after he got rid of it.
6:44 left in the fourth quarter. Bulldogs 20, Pittsburgh 8.
6:44 remaining. Glassboro with the edge.
Get another look here at the conversion opportunity. Watch Breaker there. Even the throw would have been a little short of the end zone had he made the catch. It would have been a fantastic catch, but it still wouldn't have yielded the 2 points. But right now, Glassboro's not too concerned about not converting there. Up by 12. Right now, they just want to make Pennsgrove work for anything that they can get. Don't give anything up easy. Because the clock is certainly Glassboro's friend here. Just 6:44 left to play.
Mills and Brown back to receive Dobson's kick.
Dobson to kick it away. Mills and Brown back to receive. Lined up inside the 15-yard line. It's a short kick, and it'll be Brown who takes at the 20. Brown returns it, and finally taken down about the 36-yard line. Good field position for the Red Devils. They will need to score twice. They hope to capture their first South Jersey Group 1 championship.
Not only twice, but quickly, Rob. They're going to have to really get things going here. None of this, huddling and going over to the sidelines between plays. You got to know what you're doing, and you got to know what you're going to be doing that play, the play after, and the play after that. You've got to have a script in mind, and you got to kind of know what's going on.
This is typically where you see a heavy dose of Aaron Hayward.
And the disadvantage for Pennsgrove right now, and we've talked about it earlier, they don't throw the ball a lot. So it's not like they can pick up big chunks via the air. They're going to have to rely on Hayward and the rest of this squad, although Hayward, you see him come out of the backfield there in motion.
Brown back to pass, throws it up, and it's picked off. Picked off. Davis on the return. And a penalty flag here.
Flag occurring during the run back there, but it's not going to change the fact that Glassboro is going to have possession of the ball. And Brown just kind of goes back here, and he says, Aaron Hayward's out there, I'm just going to fire it out in his direction. He just kind of threw it up as a prayer, and certainly not answered. As Davis gets the pick, and then just takes off running, goes back to his running back ways, and takes off. Little block there by Breaker, I think is what they got the call there on Ridgeway. And that's going to bring it back into Glassboro territory. But that, again, not a concern. Now Glassboro can just work on milking the clock.
I understand the thinking they're trying to put the ball in Hayward's hands, but Brown throwing off his back foot and just kind of throwing it up for grabs. It's a low percentage play. They certainly had enough time to score twice. It would have not been easy. But now, Glassboro will try to keep the ball on the ground and milk the clock. Right up the middle. And a pickup of about 5. P.J. James.
Hand off to James, picks up that 4.
James just a sophomore, and as I said, not listed among the top 5 rushers on this Glassboro squad this season. You had Davis coming in with 465, Gaines at 426, Baxter 351, Breaker 273, even Adams at 263. And now you got James, and again, just a sophomore, and something I talked about earlier, Rob. This team now on the cusp of winning its 24th straight game, and only one other team has gone 3 straight seasons, going 12-0 3 years in a row. And you got a guy like James here who looks like he can keep this tradition going for this Glassboro team into the future.
Of course, Tim Breaker, the quarterback, is a senior. Second down, and whistles blow. Delay a game against Glassboro.
But Breaker wasn't the quarterback of this team last year, and Glassboro's always seemed to find players that can fit into this system and keep it going. I mean, they've had a lot of success over the years.
He's second and 10.
Sakeen Wright, a guy that was the
I'm told prices in the concession
Second down.
drastically.
Sakeen Wright is an assistant coach for this team. He was a quarterback for Glassboro. Of course, he played in the Arena Football League.
The pitch, Davis. Strung outside, Davis with speed, and he's tackled across midfield.
Picks up about 6. Bring up third and about 4.
There you see some of the speed of Davis.
And the key now also staying in bounds and keeping that clock running.
Inside of 5 minutes remaining. Third down and 4. Ball spotted just inside of Red Devil territory. Working out of the I formation. Now James off to the right flank. The pitch, it's going to be a double reverse. And a lot of room here. Tunstall with that great speed. Shakes a tackle, knocked out of bounds. And now a late hit.
Picks up about 8. No flag on the play.
Good look at the laundry there on the field, the yellow flag.
We have a 5-yard face mask. And we have dead ball, personal foul, late hit out of bounds.
Both penalties against Pensgrove, a face mask that you saw very briefly there, and then stepping out of bounds and a late hit to follow that up.
See, there was no whistle there at the end of that play. In defense of those two Pensgrove guys who were trying to tackle Tunstall, there was no whistle, and he wasn't really, he was like, on the line out of bounds. So, that's kind of a tough call to go against Pensgrove there at this stage of the game. Because I didn't hear a whistle. I don't know if anybody else did, but I certainly did from up here.
4:34 remaining in this fourth quarter. Glassboro with possession and driving. And Kempcar asking for an explanation why 2 penalties were assessed there. One was in play and one was a dead ball foul.
At the conclusion of today's game, stick around. The state trophy will be handed off to the winning coach.
First an inadvertent face mask. And then the
late hit, I guess.
Late hit. So 5 because it happened during the play. Handoff again, Davis.
Handoff to Davis.
Short pickup.
Picks up about 4.
Things are getting a little chippy down there in the trenches. This guy's unpiling and piling up. Of course, Pensgrove has been a little frustrated today.
And 6 Bulldogs.
They've had some opportunities and turnovers have kind of haunted them. Glassboro, of course, squandered several opportunities themselves today. Or maybe this score might be more reflective of what we saw last time these two teams faced. 35-6, Glassboro winning here on the
Davis again against the grain. Davis still on his feet. Cut down inside the 5-yard line. And Glassboro looking to put the exclamation point on this one.
Picks up about 14. The Bulldog ball on the 4-yard line.
Davis has been outstanding today.
We saw LaRonde Gaines, P.J. James, and now Stephen Davis so lethal in the open field.
And just so much depth. Like many people have talked about this Glassboro team. There's not one star, not one guy that just shines like an Aaron Hayward, but all these guys contribute and make big plays and do such good things with the football. When they don't have the football, a real just impressive team is what you got here at Glassboro High School.
Just like to take this time to recognize the ground crew for Glassboro High School. Jesse DeGarmo,
Glassboro certainly looks like they will finish up 12-0 for a second straight year. Herb Emilio again with a fine job at the reins. Big win coming in the semifinals against Paulsboro at Paulsboro. Of course, both teams were undefeated, and Paulsboro had the home field advantage. Many people thought that Paulsboro, given their home field advantage, may have had a little bit of an edge, but Glassboro played particularly well. They were led by Tim Breaker, not only offensively, but defensively, and they have continued to ride that momentum here into the championship game. First down and goal. Davis, and that's too easy. 26-8, Glassboro extends their lead. If there was any doubt, there is none any longer.
And watch him just blow this hole open. Davis kind of finding some room. They just sealed off the end there, and Davis walks it right on in.
And the fans have left, and so have the geese.
Brad Dawson in the 10th extra point, and Breaker's hold, and Green snap.
They'll fake it. Breaker will take it, and he will make it.
And with 3:36 left in the fourth quarter, Bulldogs 28.
28-8. Glassboro extends their lead. Extra point attempt, and the two-point conversion is good.
We'll get another look at it, and that's what makes it dangerous, having a guy like Tim Breaker as the holder. He'll throw it, he can run it. And no intentions of even putting that ball down. Breaker's up and gone.
Glassboro's Dobson will kick it away. Glassboro, as we said, had 3 touchdowns taken off the board via penalties. They did come back and score on one of those 3 drives, but only one. So, again, a game very similar, Mike, to the last one we had here, where it was tight in the first half, and then Glassboro just pulled away.
And this one even tight into the fourth quarter, Rob. I mean, it was. We had a 13-6 game, or I'm sorry, 13-8 game. It's amazing how one play can make such a huge difference, in that fumble just opened the floodgates.
Dobson kicks it away, and it's going to be Hayward on the return.
Hayward will return.
And now there's a fight.
Another skirmish there, this one at midfield. This guy's in the open field blocking, and now you got the benches. The bench is kind of emptied on Pensgrove's side. No need for that. Herb Nealio pulling guys over to his sideline.
This has
gotten a little unnecessary.
You know, you see Aaron Hayward out there, and he's taking a leadership role, telling his players to go back on the sidelines, and that's what a leader does, because there's frankly no excuse for these players to come off the sideline and do that.
And the coach too. Coach Carr doing the same thing.
And we see that the Glassboro fans voicing their displeasure with what has transpired. 3:30 remaining in this fourth quarter. The weather quite cold, probably around 30 degrees, but tempers are heating up. Pensgrove felt that they had a great opportunity to be the Cinderella, but it looks like the clock has struck 12.
And a good season for Pensgrove is going to come to an end. They're going to finish 9-3. They've not ever had a 10-win season in their school history. They've never been to a sectional final before. So it's been a good year for them. It's been a definite good year for Pensgrove. They're going to end it on a losing note, but they just ran into a team that's it's better. I mean, it's just a better team. Glassboro is just a better team, and they've proven it throughout this year, throughout the last 2 years, as now they're going to go 12-0 for the second year in a row. That's a sight you don't want to see, gotta tell you. 2 police officers have to stand in the middle of the football field as they're going to go off to the sideline now.
So Pensgrove will take over at the 34-yard line, trailing 28-8 with 3:30 remaining. Pensgrove will continue their Glassboro will continue their impressive run. Back-to-back 12-0 seasons. 2 consecutive championships.
And not even a handful of teams can say they've done that. Only Florence, Paulsboro, and West Deptford have had back-to-back 12-0 seasons.
Handoff inside, not a whole lot there.
And off the Mills, tackled by Toppy, Bell, and Hicks. He's 2nd and 8.
Glassboro 6 sectional championships in all prior to today. 1975, 81, 83, 87, 99, and of course last year.
Here's Hayward. And Hayward is cut down. Hayward.
And off to Hayward.
We've seen a little bit of what he brings to the table. Of course, this will be his last game as a high school player.
Tackled by Green.
He has verbally committed to Rutgers University. Shawnee Kersey over at Woodbury, also another verbal commit. We saw that Gerald Hodges has wavered in his commitment. He was another verbal commitment. He is now undecided. The other night, Rutgers hosted quite a few of the top recruits when they took on Louisville and absolutely pasted them 63-14. And of course, the other big recruit coming out of Eastern High School, Logan Ryan, who was at that very game, one of the many recruits along with Tom Savage. Savage considered by some in the high school community to be the #1 quarterback nationally. So it'll be interesting to see Hayward as he continues his career collegiately. 2:18 and counting, 28-8 after the penalty flag. Brown throws it up for grabs once again, and it's in and out of the hands of the defense.
And the Glassboro defenders kind of fighting for that one to see who could be the next guy to make a big play. Josh Bell there, along with Tunstall in on that pass breakup. 3rd and 20 now from Pensgrove. As I mentioned, Glassboro, with those 6 previous sectional championships, this their 16th appearance in a sectional final. As we mentioned, Pensgrove had never been to a sectional final before today. And that's going back to 1975 since they started this playoff format with the sectional finals.
.203 remaining. 3rd down. Mills.
And up the Mills, tackled by Bell.
Josh Bell in on the tackle. Bell, a senior, really has done most of his work as a linebacker on this Glassboro defense. Kind of their defensive leader, their tackle, one of their tackle leaders. He had 67 coming into today.
And the punt will be down at about the 41-yard line. And Glassboro can simply take a knee and watch time expire and celebrate. South Jersey football champions once again. Glassboro, of course, as we mentioned, defeated Paulsboro last year. They lost to Paulsboro the year prior in 2006 and also in 2005. And Glassboro really took a backseat to Paulsboro for so many years. Paulsboro really owning the South Jersey championships, but that has changed. Glassboro is now the dominant team in South Jersey Group 1 as they have now won 24 consecutive games, enjoying their second consecutive South Jersey championship. And again, they will take a knee and watch time expire.
Yeah, Glassboro moved up to the #1 spot in the South Jersey rankings in the Courier Post in their small school division. There you see they're getting the cooler ready. Somebody's going to get it. Two people are going to get it. One's going to the left, one's going to the right. They got a third one in there. This is going to be a lot of people are getting showers here.
This is not the day you want to take a Gatorade bath.
Somebody got away with one there.
Hermelio feels some trouble coming on, and he got it.
There's a sneak attack 3 ways.
And they took a knee once again, and Glassboro comes on to celebrate. Glassboro High School is your 2008 South Jersey Group 1 champions, completing a perfect 12-0 season with a decisive 28-8 victory over the Pennsgrove Red Devils. Stick around, post-game interviews, and a wrap after this.
Congratulations to both teams on a fine season. And please stick around for the presentation of the trophy.
Welcome back to Marvin Slomsky Memorial Field, the home of the Glassboro Bulldogs, your 2008 South Jersey Group 1 champions, back-to-back undefeated seasons and South Jersey Group 1 champions, here with winning head coach Herb Nealio. And coach, congratulations, another fine season. Let's talk a little bit about the game. You start off, it looked as though both teams were just kind of counterpunching. You get that big break on the botched snap for Pennsgrove. When your team came out, did you feel that they were a little tentative? It didn't seem as though you guys really started to fire until after that turnover.
Well, no. I mean, you try. I think the same thing happened last time we played them. It was a low-scoring first half. But you know, credit to the coaches. I think what we tried to do was, we weren't exactly sure what they were going to do, so try to figure out what they were going to do, and then we decided, I think the offense did a heck of a job. I think we were told we were a big play team and we couldn't move the ball, and we basically, take away some of the penalties, and the kids, we moved it up and down the field. Yeah.
Well, certainly over the course of the year, we always talk about your offense, but your defense truly seems to be the difference maker each and every week. It's a defense that boasts great speed, but also great size. And again, I think it really carried the day for you today.
Yeah, well, the team, it's the other team don't score. We tell them you win. The kids know that, But it was good. I mean, we let them drive the ball, stick it down our throat a little bit, but the kids sucked it up, and they ended up playing good defense.
I mean, keeping talent like Aaron Hayward in check is certainly a testament to your defense. Let's talk a little bit about what happened offensively. I kept mentioning up in the booth that, touchdowns taken off of the board, and before we came on, you really seemed to keep your composure despite the many touchdowns that were taken off the board. What do you say to your team when you keep seeing points getting taken off the scoreboard?
Well, you just kind of gotta regroup. I think we did lose control a little bit on the sidelines, which wasn't good. But it seemed like you're scoring a touchdown to put a team away or put the game away, and then you see the flags coming out. And I think at one point, we got one penalty late, and then all of a sudden there was a couple more at the end.
Now, again, back-to-back 12-0 seasons. I mean, you've done a fine job with this Glassboro program. Again, just going back over the past 2 years when this all started out, what's the secret to your success?
We have great athletes here at Glassboro. You know what I mean? We have team speed. We got kids that'll play hard. And as long as we basically just try to point them in the right direction and play football. And they've been able to do that. It's a credit to the coaches and the kids in the program. Especially the last couple years, these kids stepped it up.
Has a Gatorade bath in 30-degree temperatures ever felt so good?
No, we have a. You'll see it right here. We have a water tank, and that's well, that wouldn't happen. But the water tank, it was so cold today, it froze. The lines froze this morning, so we couldn't use it. So they had to make Gatorade. So.
Well, again, I know that you want to warm up and celebrate with your team. Congratulations, another fine season, Coach. Let's throw it over to our Mike Shute.
All right, I got a lot of happy players here. A lot of happy players, and we'll start with Tim Breaker, the senior, the quarterback, who was not the quarterback last year. Tim, what adjustments did you have to make as this year went on, and how was it different for you being the quarterback on this team as opposed to being a wide receiver last year on this championship team?
Well, it was really different. I had to work at it every day and get better at quarterback. I played it when I was younger, so, I knew what I was doing, but I just had to rekindle everything. So to lead to another state championship is a great thing.
How does it feel to be able to, the group of guys that you have, a bunch of seniors that have done this 2 years in a row? There's only 4 teams that have done this in the history of South Jersey football, going 12-0 2 years in a row. How does it feel to make an accomplishment like that?
It feels great. I wouldn't trade these guys for anyone. We come out and battle every game. It's words can't even explain. We did it last year, 24-0. We went, unbeaten for 2 years straight. Not many teams get to do that, so it feels really great.
All right, let's bring in somebody up. Ricky Tunstall. We'll bring Ricky on over. Rick, this game today, it was a close game, a tight game. You recovered that fumble, and that kind of started the ball rolling.
Yeah, once we got the fumble recovered, we got a lot of momentum to it, and we just had to, put some points on the board.
I know you're a senior on this team as well, Rick, and what's it mean to be able to go 24-0 in your last 2 years of high school football?
I mean, it means a lot to me to finish out my senior season 12-0, and everybody, I'm kind of excited.
I don't blame you. Take your time.
All during the season, everybody doubted, said we couldn't do it, but we just had to prove everybody wrong again.
Let's bring in LaRonde Gaines. LaRonde, I know this team has a lot of offensive weapons, and you guys, not one guy necessarily is the star running back, and you get contributions from a lot of different people today. You made some big contributions as well. Tell me about just the team concept that you guys have. It seems like everybody can step up and make a big play.
Oh, we've been playing together since we was in midgets and stuff, and Chris, he had moved to California. He went to California and got a couple skills, came back. But me and Stevie already had our skills in Glassboro, so everything just mixed, and everybody got their special abilities. When we get in, we just do our thing.
Tell us about the offensive line today. I mean, those guys made some big holes for all the runners to take advantage of, and you guys had a couple of easy touchdowns today. Was it a real product of the guys up front?
Yeah, they like the adrenaline was crazy today. No, it was. I bet you the fans was cool, but we was all hot and stuff. Everybody was talking about taking off their Under Armour and stuff, and it was yeah.
It was cold, but warm for you guys, right, when you're on the winning side?
Oh, yeah, I was hot all game.
We're going to bring in Paul James now, PJ, and the sophomore, a guy who wasn't even among the top 5 rushers on this team, but comes up today with a huge game. Paul, tell us how it feels to be a sophomore and one of the young guys on this team and contribute and help these seniors finish off 2 very successful years, back-to-back 12-0.
It feels great. I just go out there and play my best, and whatever happens, happens. And I just be happy with my team and everybody else.
Obviously, you had a touchdown. Tell us about what the offensive line did for you guys today, and how important I think that you guys were just able to, wear them down as the game wore on.
The offensive line, they just stepped it up. They made their blocks, and I just did the rest.
Fantastic. Congratulations, and good luck to you in the future, as you're going to have to now uphold the tradition that some of these guys have done. How does it feel to be able to do that? What are you thinking about now, as the years are going to go on for you?
I don't know. I'm just thinking about getting ready for next year.
Get ready. All right. Thanks. All right, we'll bring Rob back in. And Rob, a successful day here for the Glassboro Bulldogs. They finished 28-8 is the final score. And, another number to talk about in the 20s is 24. 24 straight wins for Glassboro High School.
Well, again, back-to-back 12-0 seasons. Very impressive for this Bulldogs team. Their first back-to-back championships. This is a program that has a fine tradition, but that tradition will only grow now under the tutelage of Herb Nealio. And let's talk a little bit about the coach here. He's trying to deflect, praise and so on, but he may have some fine athletes here, but he has done a tremendous job with this program.
Sure. Athletes is one thing, but to be able to organize them, to be able to get them to do the things you need to do to win ball games is another. And obviously he's been able to do that over the years. Very successful, well over 60 wins in his relatively short span, 7 years or so. I guess he's been the head coach here, so he's certainly been the guiding light for these guys and getting these athletes to make the plays and learn how to play the game and come out successful.
This is a program that boasts many talented players, but you don't see necessarily that one extraordinary talent on this particular team. We talked about Hayward for Penns Grove, but this is a team made up of a lot of balance, and that should bode well for next year. I said, it's just extraordinary, 24 straight wins, and he says, we try to do it again next year, and that's obviously the mindset of this program.
Well, the interesting thing was, too, and we're down on the field as the celebration was going on, you heard the PA announcer say, hey, they congratulate the seniors, but there's a lot of guys coming back next year, and we hope to do it again next year. So, even the public address announcer here at the stadium's putting a little pressure on the younger guys, saying, hey, don't forget, you're coming back next year, and we want to do it again.
For Penns Grove, a very successful season. Nobody really expected them to play in the South Jersey Championship game, and coming off of big win after big win, they have to consider this a successful season. Obviously they're a little upset right now, but all in all, they enjoyed quite a year.
Sure, they had lost a tough game to Buna the week before they played here on October 24th, losing 13-6 in a game that an interception return was the difference in that game. Then they lost here to Glassboro, got hammered pretty good, losing that one 35-6, but then they won ever since then. They went on a 5-game winning streak to get themselves back to this field for an opportunity to play for a championship. Fell a little bit short today. A couple turnovers were the difference. And that's you have a sophomore quarterback in Jay Brown, and he's going to learn and he's going to get better from this. And for Penns Grove, they have things to look forward to too. They had a lot of youth out there as well, and guys that are talented and can contribute in the future. So you never know. You might see these two teams back here next year.
Well, Glassboro will be rocking tonight their second consecutive South Jersey Group 1 championship. They win it over Penns Grove 28-8. For my partner Mike Shute, my director Stan Ritter, and all the crew, I'm Rob Chris. Thanks for joining us once again. Glassboro, South Jersey Group 1 champions. Good night, everybody.